What's up, tribe? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm just home working on a few projects around the house, working on a few orders. It's a shop vlog. Shop vlog. You were just here in the shop. I'll give you a tour of the shop right now. It's in our garage, so it's not very big, but this is where everything goes down. This is where we make everything. Working on a few projects today, a couple Hola Casita signs, shipping a few out. Couple are going out to Italy. So we're shipping to Italy. We've shipped across the pond a few times, but never to Italy. And so every time we get somewhere new across the pond, it's very exciting. So yeah, two signs are going over to Italy. We're going to be shipping those out today, and then working on a couple more that a few people ordered the other day. Working on a couple of custom designs. One Minecraft design. So for those Minecraft fans out there, we got something special. It's a custom design. Someone hit us up, a friend of mine hit me up to make a sign for their child's room. So I said, hey, yeah, for sure, I'll do it. So I'm working on that. Also working on a custom hummingbird sign for my cousin. It's a sign for her friend, and it's been in the works for a while. So finally getting around to doing that. So I'll show you that. All these projects aren't done, but I'll just show you a little bit, of the progress that I've made so far, and then just show you around the shop a couple of the tools that we have. The laser machine is behind me, and yeah, so let me show you around the shop. All right, let's start with the laser machine. So this is our laser machine. As you can see, it's pretty big. The brand is Cam 5 laser. So far it's been a great machine. We've had it going on 2 years, and it's never giving us any problems. It's all reliable. It works great. It is the Q3624K, so that's the model, which basically means that it's our working area is 36 by 24. So that's basically what that means. It's an 80-watt laser machine, so it's pretty powerful. It cuts through, I think the thickest I've cut through is about a 1/2 inch, but I try to keep it a little less than that. The wood we usually work with the machine and cut through is about I think it's a 1/4 inch. Yeah, 1/4 inch is about the thickest we like to cut with the machine. So about a 1/4 inch, and then a 1/8 inch are kind of the thicknesses of woods that we use with the machine. But it engraves pretty much on everything except metal. This machine does not do metal. So if you guys are looking for a machine that cuts or engraves metal, then you're gonna want to check out another machine. Cam 5 does offer those machines. They have them. They are, I think, what is called a fiber laser machine is what they're called. Those are the ones that cut through metal and engrave metal. So if you're interested in that, that's what you're gonna want, is one of those machines. But this one is called a CO2. So that's the type of laser this machine is. It's a CO2 laser, 80 watts, 36 by 24K. The brand is Cam 5 Laser. They're a great company. Their customer service is great. The machine is great. It's very powerful. But yeah, this is the machine. It came with the stand, or didn't come with the stand. There was a stand that was offered, but it was a little pricey. So I decided to make this stand myself. It's just a bunch of pellets that I put together, and then just put a thick piece of plywood on top. So, and then I also put some wheels on the bottom, you can see. So there's wheels on every corner in case I need to roll it around. But yeah, it's sturdy. This thing was heavy getting it off the truck. I actually picked it up from the shop myself, not too far from my house, and my dad helped me load it here onto the pallet. And then here we go, just pushed it in the corner. Like I said, it's a great machine. So that's the machine itself. Excuse the mess, there's a lot of work going on in the shop right now. But this is what's called the cooler. So this basically takes antifreeze, and it cools the laser tube. So it comes out of here, goes into there. The laser sits in here. I can't get to that right now, but there's a laser tube inside of here, and the laser tube is what produces the laser. And then there's an exhaust, so I have it exhausting out into the back, so all the smoke and everything that when it's cut, it creates a lot of oh, I just turned the printer on, excuse me. When it cuts, it creates a lot of like smoke and dust, so all that gets exhausted and blown out. The fan over there comes out through here and then goes out to the back. And then there's an air blower right here. So what this thing does is it sends air through this orange tube that you see, and it comes up over here. Let me bring the, you can hear the air right now. You hear the air? Okay, so the air then comes through this blue tube, and then it's coming out right here. So the purpose of the air is so when you're cutting the wood, it doesn't catch fire, and also blows the debris, you know, out of the way of the laser while it's cutting. So you can adjust right here the amount of air you have. So you see as I'm turning it, you're not hearing the air, it's gone. So some things you don't need air for, like acrylic. There's a couple other things, but we don't really cut or engrave those items. But acrylic is really the only thing that we use where it doesn't really need air while it's cutting. But when you're cutting wood and engraving wood, you definitely want the air all the way up to prevent that flame and prevent, you know, a lot of smoke. So the air does help out. But you can see this thing is smooth. You know, it works around everything. Everything glides very smoothly. The tracks are smooth. You know, I got to clean this every so often, make sure it's all lubed up. But it's a great machine. So there's the laser machine and its stand. And I showed you, you know, everything that comes with it when you purchase it. It comes with this. It comes with this. It comes with the air blower. It comes with the exhaust. It comes with all that. It's a great machine. And it basically just connects with a USB. So I have it hooked up right here, which comes to the computer. And then this is the software. This is the Lightburn software, which we do everything, you know, all the designs in. Well, we don't do all the designs in Lightburn, but Lightburn is the software that talks to the machine. So there's other, you know, softwares, but we use Lightburn. So whenever we have a design, we load it into Lightburn, we send it to the machine, and it cuts and engraves. Simple as that. This is a little workstation. Now, apologize for the mess. It's messy. There's been a lot of work. I'm trying to move things around. I'm trying to, you know, just trying to clean up the shop a little bit. So it's always a mess before everything gets clean, right? So, oh, here, look at these. These are a couple of egg trays that we recently did. So these two are going to be shipping out. These are the last two egg trays for Easter. Oh, this is my jury duty. Don't look at that. Guess I got jury duty coming up. This is the one that's actually going out to Italy. So I'm going to be sending that out today. This is just, you know, some spare boxes that we have. Again, there's just tools everywhere right now. It's usually a lot cleaner than this. But these are like a lot of our packing supplies, which we need to get more of because there's been a lot of stuff shipping out today or this week. And yeah, we're running a little low. And then this table right here is where I do a lot of the painting. So as you can see, I have a white Hola Casita letters. And then this is for that Minecraft sign that I showed you guys. It's for my friend's son. His name is Brandon. It's going to be hung on his door. So it says Brandon's room, which is, here it is right here. I need to finish painting it. I need to finish painting the sides, but I've already painted, you know, the top. So if this looks familiar, it's from Minecraft. And then right here, it's going to say Brandon's and then room going down. And then he'll hang that on his door. So, you know, that's his room. Don't step in unless you knock. And then this is the hummingbird stuff I'm working on. So this is going to be layered. So this is the bottom, and then this is the middle, and then this is the top. So, you know, blue, green, and a darker blue. This kind of the colors that, you know, she's working with. It's going to go on here. So the hummingbird will go here, and then there's a saying that goes here. I forget the saying, I need to cut that out. But this is going to be stained gray. And then the bird is going to go here, and then the words will be in white right here. And then I'm going to add a chain so it can hang in their backyard. We'll put that in their backyard. But yeah, this is where all the painting goes down. When there's a lot of projects, I usually set up another table right here, and we do a lot more painting there. But right now there's not a whole lot going on. We've just shipped out a lot of stuff recently, and we're just catching up on a couple of orders. We did get another batch of orders, so we'll start working on those next week. Yeah, so laser, workstation, painting area, supplies. This is where I keep all the wood that we use. So we got a lot of wood right here that is used for all of our projects. This wood is all scrap wood, stuff that there's really no room left on to cut. And we just use it for scrap pieces, kind of where I keep all that. And then here is my bandsaw. So it's a Craftsman bandsaw, and I actually was given this by my neighbor. He knew I was working with wood, and he had this saw and actually this table saw back here, which is a Ryobi table saw. I think it's a 10-inch. It's a great saw. So he gave me that one and this one for free because he's the coolest neighbor. I think he was upgrading his, or he just didn't use them, he said. And he was just looking to get rid of them and make some space in his garage. He said maybe eventually he was going to get some other ones. So he just wanted them out and gave them to me because he knew I was working with a lot of wood over here. So I was like, heck yeah, man, like I'll take them off your hands. Such a cool guy. Yeah, so big thanks to him for giving me these. They work great. I'm learning how to use this and cut with this a little bit better. This is actually what I used to cut those eggs out. So it was, you know, got the shape out, cut that egg shape out with the bandsaw. But I'm getting better. My cuts are getting cleaner. I think I want to get what's called a scroll saw. Some of you might have those or have seen them, but those allow you to get, you know, cleaner cuts, smaller cuts, angles, get into, you know, a little bit tighter spaces than you can with this bandsaw. The blades on those ones are a lot thinner. This one's pretty thick, so it's kind of hard to get, like, you know, those sharp turns, 90-degree turns, or just like a quick, you know, what would that be called? Like a quick turnaround in a cut. I don't know, a loop. Yeah, it's easier. So I'm thinking about getting one of those. Yeah, these saws are great. So I'm trying to get more into like the woodworking side. Still using the laser for certain things, but just trying to get more into like making thicker, bigger signs. Just stuff that I can't really do with a laser as far as cutting that I can now do with these. So I have a couple of things in mind that hopefully will be coming out soon. Some Disney, especially a Disney sign that I'm pretty excited about. Yeah, when we get there, I'll show you guys, but it involves using these two machines. And like I said, I might get one of those scroll saws because that would help out as well. But yes, so, and then this is just like our little workout area. And again, excuse us for the mess. I also do DJing. I have a company where I DJ. If maybe I'll post something about that or have a link down below. I don't know, but yeah, that's just some of the DJ gear that I'm storing here at the moment. Some of it's inside, some of it's over here, and some's at my partner's house. So yeah, that if you're wondering what this is, if you recognize like those cases, or if it's like, hey, American DJ, that kind of sounds familiar. It's DJ gear because I DJ as well. And then we just have laundry, but you don't need to see a lot about that. And then just some storage. And then, yeah, this is pretty much it. This is the shop. This is where I get a lot of work done. This is where I spend a lot of my time. I showed you guys some of the signs I'm working on. And right now I was actually burning some wood because I am working on some Tiki designs for the backyard. So here's a couple of them that I've done. Kind of hard to see. This wood wasn't the best, but I'm still going to use it. I find that this wood right here that I'm using works better than these 2x4s as far as engraving and burning. This was a 2x4, but I'm still going to use it. It still kind of came out all right. So basically what you do is you burn the wood. I got the flame here, and then I'm using the laser machine to engrave, you know, engrave the design on there. And that's how you get this to look like that. So here's another piece. I need to go buy some more wood because this was the only scrap pieces of wood that I wanted to use that I have laying around, and I want to finish that soon. I'm gonna put it in the backyard, and when it's finished I'll show you guys, but it's gonna be probably about, I don't know, 25-30 inches wide by, you know, just as high as these. This is probably like, I don't know, like 20 inches high. I'm just gonna put them all side by side, some smaller and higher, you know, than the others, and then I'm just gonna mount them to two 2x4s in the back. So just picture a row of Tikis that are gonna be, you know, on the back side of them. It'll be going across the 2x4. It's kind of hard to describe this with one hand, but yeah, I want them all lined up. So a bunch of Tikis, you know, some shorter than others, and then I'm gonna hang it on my wall in the backyard, just kind of have like a little Tiki area. So when I get to that, I'll show you guys, but I'll show you the fun part. The fun part is the burning. The burning process is so much fun. So yeah, let's get into a little dramatic slow-mo of the burning. Wasn't that cool? Yeah, that's the funnest part about making these is the fire, the flame, the burning of the wood is so much fun. I really enjoy it. I think I'm a little bit of a pyro, so it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so after you do that part, then you have to scrape all of the burntness off. So what you can use, what I had was for the barbecue to clean the grills. You use the coarsest, roughest part on the wood. I'll show you guys right now, and you scrape it off, and then you get this beautifully like brownish goldish color. Hopefully it's coming out on camera as good as it looks in person, but yeah, you get this awesome look. And then once you get to this step, then I throw it in the machine and engrave it, and then it comes out looking great. This was like the first one I did. Let me show you guys. This one's actually a little bit darker because I ended up putting some lacquer on it because I was going to put it outside, and I kind of wanted to protect it from like the water sprinklers or when it rains. And it actually came out darker because of that. So I don't think I'm going to do it to these pieces because I actually like the way it looked before I sprayed that on there. But yeah, this is what it looks like now. Still looks cool. It's just darker. I like the light like brown that it gave me before I put it on. So I'm gonna see how these look after I'm done. And if they look the way this one did before I sprayed it, then I'm just gonna keep it. And if it's outside and it gets wet, it gets wet. I guess no biggie. I don't really like how dark that one came out. So this one just stays inside on the shelf. But yeah, let's scrape this stuff off. Okay, then that was that. Simple as that. And if you do this, I do recommend wearing, a mask if you have them, just because there's a lot of fine dust that gets, just gets blown up in the air while you're doing this. Even when you were using the torch, just from the smoke that it creates, and if you have like knots in the wood, sometimes it pops. And yeah, just wear, I would wear some gloves and a mask if you have them. It just, it's for safety. Just keep yourself healthy and safe. But yeah, so that one's done. That one's done. And so now I'm gonna put it in the machine and engrave it, and then we'll see how it comes out afterwards. Also, look, that's what I'm talking about. That's all the fine dust. That's all what comes off when you scrape it off of the wood. You get all that residue, and you can see it in the air. So I guess maybe even wear goggles if you have them, which I do. I just didn't put them on. Sometimes I always think just because I'm wearing glasses, it's protecting my eyes, but stuff can still come from the sides, I guess. But yeah, and sorry, these glasses look a little dirty. They are. These are my working glasses. There's paint on them. These aren't the ones I wear out. These are just for the shop. So yeah, they look a little dirty. I'm sorry, but these are just my working glasses. So let's throw this piece in the machine and see how it comes out. Okay, now I got the piece of wood in the machine. I just kind of wanted to show you how I set this up. So this tray that it's sitting on is movable. So you can move it up, you can move it down, so you can put thicker pieces in the machine. The whole point of that is because you always want the laser head a certain distance away from whatever you're cutting or engraving. If you have it too close, it can burn the wood. If you have it too far, the image won't show up or it won't cut. So the way you figure out how far to put the head, I mean, if you have it like that, that's too close. This is too far. So they give you a guide. So it comes with these little acrylic pieces that are cut out. Basically what you do is you put it here. Let me show a chance so you can see it. And then when you lower this, that's the gap that you need. So the head is now touching the top of this little acrylic piece. I think it's 5 millimeters is how thick that is. And then, so yeah, the gap between the head and the piece of wood is 5 millimeters because I put this little piece in the middle, so it can't go down anymore. And then I'll tighten the laser head right here. And so that's the distance it now needs to be to either engrave, a clean image or cut through, whatever I'm cutting. So obviously this piece is way too thick for this laser machine to cut. but it can engrave it with no problem. So I'm going to engrave the Tiki on here now, and I'll take you over to the computer so you can see the design. And yeah, let's go. Okay, we're now at the computer. This is, like I said, this is the Lightburn software that we use. And I have my image of the Tiki that I want to engrave. I have a lot of Tiki saved over here. And so this was one that I'm using. I really like this one. So that's the one, that's this guy that came out kind of dark. Hello. That's him. That's the same image, but this one, like I said, it came out too dark. I'm not going to be putting it outside, so I wanted to make another one that I can use for outdoors. So what I did is I took the shape of the wood, the dimensions of the wood. So the wood that you saw on the machine is 15 inches by 5. So I went ahead and just made a square, and then grabbed that image of the Tiki, and then adjusted it to fit within the working area. So that's considered my working area, the 15 by 5. And this is now what you see in green is going to engrave. Now when it comes to engraving or cutting, there's like preset settings, but you just kind of learn the settings as you go. When I say settings, what I'm talking about is the speed and the power of the laser. So you have to tell the laser, you know, how fast you want it to move, and the power, the amount of power that you want the laser to produce while it's cutting and engraving. So, I mean, it's not as easy as just putting whatever you're going to cut or engrave into the machine and basically just tell it to do its thing. Like, you can't just push a button and it starts. You have to know, you know, how fast you want it to go and the amount of power, because if you're cutting something and you have too much power, it's going to burn it. So if you don't have enough power, it's not going to cut through, you know, the thickness of the wood. When you're engraving, same thing. If you're going too fast and the power is low, you're not going to see what's engraving because it doesn't have time for the laser to actually engrave. If you're going too slow when you're engraving and you have too much power, then it's going to burn it because there's just too much power being produced, you know, on whatever you're engraving, and the machine head is, or the laser head is going too slow, so it's just gonna look really crappy and it's gonna burn it. So you just kind of learn these settings as you go, and you just play around with, you know, whatever you're going to be using. So, you know, when I first got this machine, I was using a lot of wood, so I just kind of found out, you know, the perfect area, the perfect settings for wood. Now, when I got the machine, the guy that came in and installed it for me, he did help me out with like some of the settings. You know, he had some preset settings, and I just kind of went off of that. You know, the preset settings were great, but it didn't really get me the quality or the look that I wanted on some of the things that I was engraving. So I just kind of played around. You know, you just buy some wood, use it as scrap, and just sit here for like a day or two, and just kind of learn and make your own settings within the software. So I have an Excel actually that lists, you know, every material that I use and the settings that I have. So for wood, you know, I have a setting on how, you know, the setting to cut it. Certain thicknesses of wood, I have a setting for each thickness. For engraving, there's different ways and different methods to engrave. So when something's engraving that's been painted, it's different than when something that hasn't been painted. For the Tikis, I'm using a lower speed and a higher power because I want to be a little deeper in the wood. So if I was using a faster speed at the same power, then I wouldn't get the depth into the wood as thick as I would like it. It wouldn't engrave as deep. So that's what I want. I want these to be engraved kind of deep, as like this one, like this. As I don't know if you can see it, but it, you know, it goes in and it's a little deeper than usual. And the way that you get that is by going a little bit slower. So the speed I'm going to be using this is 15, and the power I'm going to be using is 45. So the power goes from 0 to 100, and so same thing with the speed. So the speed is basically how fast the machine moves, and then the power is the power of the laser. So that's what I'm using, 15, 45. And then also the line interval, or the lines per inch. It's basically how many lines per inch. So it just makes it cleaner. It tightens up the distance that the laser head is moving. So the higher or the lower my lines per inch is, then the machine actually, like, each line that it passes will be further away. And then the higher your lines per inch is, sorry, this is boring, but the higher number of lines per inch that you use, every line will be closer to each other. So it does take longer the higher your lines per inch is, because the laser head is making more cuts, and they're a lot closer to each other. But you get a lot of more of a cleaner image when you do that. So I'm going to be using 300 for this, just so it gets a little bit cleaner. All the lines, each pass is a lot closer. It's grouped, it's tighter. So that's really it. That's all you really need to do when you're, you know, getting ready to engrave something, is just know your power, your speed, and your lines per inch. Okay, so as you see, I got the image ready to go. Now let's go check the machine. What I'm gonna do is, once I get over to the machine, I'm gonna hit frame, and then frame is going to, let me show you real quick. Okay, so I got my image, everything ready to engrave. The starting point is this green, so I have the laser set. When I'll go show you right now, the laser's on in the upper right hand corner of the piece of wood, so that's where the laser knows where to start. So then when I get over there, I'm just gonna hit frame on the computer, and you're gonna see that the laser head is going to frame the area that it's going to engrave. So let's go check that out right now. So as you can see, the laser head is now in the top corner. So I'm gonna hit frame, and you're gonna see that it's going to be working in this area. So yeah, it's a little outside, but that's okay because I want it to be a little bit outside. Actually, I'm gonna have to move the head over because you saw it was a lot more outside on this side than this side. So I want it to be a little bit more even. So I'm gonna just move it over a little bit like that, and then I'm going to hit frame again. Let's see, okay. Okay, let's just see. I think that'll do. As long as it's on the outside, on both sides, that's great. The reason why I wanted the outside is because I just wanted the image to be on the edge. I don't want there to be like the image inside the wood and have to trim that. I just want to have to trim whatever might be exposed, little pieces, but for the most part, the image on both sides, the tiki is going to be cut or engraved all the way to the edge, and I'll just have to cut like a little piece off the bottom and the top. So yeah, let's engrave this baby. Okay, now we got it engraving. As you can see, it gets very smoky. I'm trying to do a time lapse, and I probably will as we get closer to it being finished, but I'm gonna end up just closing this lid right now because let me move this light, because it's getting very smoky in the garage and it's getting hard to do anything. So that's where a little bit is seeping out. I should probably put this guard back in here, but I usually have it off because when I'm using larger pieces of wood, which I use, that thing gets in the way when sliding in and out. But you know what? For right now, I'm gonna put it back in because it will help. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna be getting a time lapse just because it's too smoky. This is a thicker, larger piece of wood, and so it's just causing a lot more smoke. Check it out. Might not look like a whole lot of smoke on camera, but if I just leave this open for the time lapse, by the time it's done, it's gonna be pretty smoky in the garage, and I'm in here and I just don't really want to be breathing it in. But yeah, just check it out so far. We're almost there. Looking pretty good. We'll see the final result afterwards. So I'm just gonna keep this closed just so it doesn't get too smoky, like I said. Plus I'm painting and the smoke comes and it can get on, you know, what I'm painting and just kind of leave like a little bit of dust on there. So I don't want that either. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. All right, I stepped out so you can see it a little bit better in the light. But yeah, I like this. I like this. Yeah, I like the way it came out. It doesn't look exactly like the other one did, but it's pretty close. So I'm definitely not gonna spray this because if I spray this, it's gonna get dark. But I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Should I spray it? Did you guys like the way the one looked darker, or do you like this lighter look? I personally like this lighter look. So I think I'm just gonna keep it like this. What I will do though is just, I'm gonna have to cut some of these edges off. And then once they're all cut, then I'm gonna burn the rest of it so it all looks the same color. But I just wanted to get the face done, and then I'll work on the rest after. But yeah, I'll cut that right there, and then I'll probably cut that little piece right there, and then down in the bottom, just to give it more of that face shape. But yeah, I think it came out pretty good. I like it. So I'm gonna do the rest like this. Okay, so I got everything painted for the most part. I'm just gonna finish this Minecraft sign. Remember I showed you guys this earlier. So it's painted, but I need to just clean up. You know, I just need to paint the edges. I mean, I can't let it go out like that. Look at that. Look how sloppy that is. So what I'm gonna do is just use this little foam brush and just, you know, work my way around and clean that all up a bit. And that'll be done because I already painted the letters. So once this is dry, then I can go ahead and glue the letters on, and that sign will be done. And then I'll be working on finishing up on this sign. So this was the hummingbird sign that I told you guys about I was doing for my cousin. Everything is painted for the hummingbird as far as the hummingbird goes. Now I'll just need to sand the sign, actual sign part, and stain it. It's gonna be stained like a light gray. So once that's stained, then I can assemble the bird. Then I just need to cut out the words and paint that, glue everything on there, and that one will be done. So we're almost done with this one. This one will be done today. This one is almost done. The Hola Casita stuff, that's pretty much all painted. It's just now all I have to do is the customer wants the backing to be white. So I already have the wood cut right over there. I got a stack of circles cut out. So I just need to paint 2 of them white. And then once those are dry, I can glue everything on. So I'm almost there. Got a couple more orders that just came in. So those will probably be going out next week. Yeah, because we're halfway through this week. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I do a little bit of DJing. So this weekend I'll be out in San Diego doing an event. Maybe I'll record and take you guys along, just so you guys can see that side of what I do. It's not just Inscribe Tribe. I'm gonna try to keep this channel all Inscribe Tribe. Everything that has to do with Inscribe Tribe, you know, as far as you know, creating, making stuff, using the machines, to going out with the family, you know, on our adventures and going to Disneyland and going to the parks. The Boysenberry Festival is now going on, so we want to make our way over there. We just haven't had a chance. You know, Nikki had a little issue with her eye recently. She popped some blood vessels in there, and it was pretty bad. So she's been recovering from that. She just went back to work for the first time today, and she just not ready to go out in public with that. I totally understand. So once she's healed and ready, then we're probably gonna go check out the Boysenberry Festival, and we'll take you guys along, you know, with us, and we'll go try all the cool, crazy foods that they got there. We went, I think, about 2 years ago, or 2019, the year before the pandemic. We went to the food festival, or not the food festival, the Boysenberry Festival. We went there for the first time, and AJ was so little. You know, I don't think he remembers it, but from what I remember, everything that they had was really good. So I'm looking forward to going back, and I know they got new stuff. So, like I said, once we go, we'll make sure to record it and take you guys along with us. In the meantime, let me just finish up some of the, you know, the stuff in the shop that needs to be painted and get ready to ship, and yeah, all that good stuff. There's a lot going on. All right, so it's actually about almost a week later from the last clip. I did send everything out that I needed to, that I was working on, all those signs that you saw me painting. Everything's already gone, and actually I'm about to go drop off a couple more packages from the new batch that we just received. But yeah, I just wasn't feeling good, you know, towards the end of that day, and just stopped filming. And I ended up going to urgent care the next day, and I'm dealing with a little health issue. It's, you know, it's nothing major, but just something that's just maybe I just wasn't feeling well, and so I wasn't up to record. But today I'm actually feeling a little bit better, and so, you know, I was able to get a little work done, and now like I said, gonna ship out a couple of packages. So I just wanted to end the video and just say thanks if you stuck around and watched to this part. Appreciate it. Hopefully, you know, I can get back out there, and you know, Nikki and I and AJ can go on, you know, have a little adventure. I know I talked about maybe we'll go to Knott's Berry Farm soon, so hopefully we can you know, go do that soon and take you guys along with us. I just hope I start to feel a little bit better, and once I do, then, you know, we'll start recording a little bit more of, you know, outside of the home. But yeah, so again, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna drop off this package and we'll see you in the next video. All right, take care. Peace.